Hi guys, this is Mercy, and we're going to talk about Spire of Eternity and diplomacy. If you're interested in learning a little more about diplomacy in the Spire, then you have clicked the right video. I'm no expert, but maybe watching me play a few rounds will help you figure out your best strategy. So that said, let's get started. Now in the Spire there are 3 levels, and each level is divided into 4 stages, and each stage has 4 encounters. You can choose to either battle or use diplomacy or a combination of both to get through the Spire. Diplomacy is much like negotiation and requires resources. As with any game, if we're going to spend our time and our resources on playing that game, we want to know what kind of rewards we're going to get back. It's also very important to understand these rewards because it does help a little with your strategy. So I'm going to pull that up and let you take a look at it. This is a chart on the cumulative rewards that you can get when playing the Spire. As you remember, I mentioned that there are 3 levels in the Spire, and each level has 4 stages. Thus, 4 times 3 is 12, and if you'll see under the 4, 8, and 12, I've put a little red line that says you've completed that level. So if you complete the first 4 stages, you've completed the first level of the Spire. If you've completed the first 8 stages, then you've completed the second level of the Spire. Notice when you complete that first level, that is at stage 4, you're eligible to win 50 diamonds. If you play another 4 stages, then you are eligible to win an additional 75 diamonds, making it a total of 125 diamonds. If you make it all the way to complete the 3rd level, and that's completing the 12th stage, then you receive an additional 100 diamonds for a total of 225 diamonds total that you're eligible for. Okay, now this is important to note because for me and my strategy, I know that I can spend up to 225 diamonds and get those diamonds back at the end if my fellowship reaches that 12 chest level. If they only reach the 8 chest level, then I know I can get 125 diamonds back. It didn't cost me anything, I'm just spending them ahead, and then I'll receive them when the rewards are handed out. I think that's an important element to be aware of because it doesn't feel like you're spending so many diamonds. Okay. We're going to cover diplomacy now because many of you, like me, had never encountered a game like this before. I've heard it's much like a game called Mastermind. If you're familiar with that game, maybe it helps give you some context. For each encounter here, you will have 3 turns. And should you need to take more turns to find the right combination, then you have to use diamonds to buy those turns. Okay, my goal today is to show you my systematic approach to resolving the encounters within the 3 turns if at all possible, and if not, to spend as few diamonds as possible and ideally stay under that 225 diamond reward so that I actually end up with more diamonds in my coffer after I'm done playing than I had before. Now, I'm not saying my way is the right way to play, I'm just showing you my thoughts and strategies, and hey, if it helps you, then rock on, especially if you're in my fellowship, because we want those 12 chests. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, first let's look at my strategy. Diplomacy is resource heavy, but for mid-level to advanced players, most of your tier resources really won't feel any measurable hit. That said, I did have to adjust my gameplay slightly in 3 areas to complete the Spire each week. One of those areas is workshops. I had 4 magic workshops and I needed to move that to 5. I also use the power of provisions all the time anyway, so I had to make sure that those were running on the 5. And I found with that additional workshop and using the power of provisions, that I now had enough supplies to do both the Spire every week without taking away from my other game elements. And if I run short of supplies, I always have supply instance in my inventory for emergency use. Now the other area that I want to talk about is Sentient Goods. I always review my S1 and S2 goods a day or two before the Spire opens on Sunday. Ideally, I want a total of 60K of goods balanced across each level for possible use in the Spire, okay? If I don't have that, I get busy producing and balancing those goods, all right? The other thing I do is I review my resources. I check in my inventory to make sure that I have some mana in there, again about 20,000, also some divine seeds as well, so that I won't run out of those items while I'm in the middle of spiring. I also want to review my my coins and my supplies. Make sure I have enough before going in. I do this before I start the game each week, and I also do it before I start each new encounter. Do I have enough in each one? Because the big reason for that is if I run out in mid-play and mid-encounter, I'm either going to have to come out and get those resources, which means I've lost all the resources I spent, or to keep playing, I'm going to have to use my diamond resources, and it gets very expensive. So I really don't want to go over my budget of 200 diamonds in a week, and that's checking your resources before going in is always the smart thing to do. So all that said, let's get into the actual play. Let's go do our first encounter. I go in here and I always convince, so I'm going to go into the convince, and you'll see in this area I have three options: coins, supplies, and mana. I always start from the left. I always start from the left with the people I'm giving it to and the supplies, especially when I'm in the learning stage. So I'm going to give the coins, supplies, and mana, and I'm going to switch and go back to the left and do coins and now supplies. And I'm going to hit offer. Now I've got some hits but not a lot of hits, and basically what I'm seeing is that I have 4 wrong person. All 3 of these are still needed by somebody. So now I'm going to jump to the next. I'm far left, but he doesn't need coins. He's already told me that, so I'm going to go to supplies. I'm going to do supplies. Now on this one I can't continue left because I've already given him mana, so I'm going to jump to coins. I'm going to go back to supplies, and I'm going to go to mana, simply because I'm trying to keep this in some sort of circular left to right order. Okay, now this is my second try. I'm going to click the offer button and I'm going to see what I get this time. Alright, now I've gotten to a point where we finally hit where nobody needs an item. So I know that my supplies are no longer necessary, so it's either going to be coins or it's going to be mana. On this easy one, I already know that I've given him coins, so I'm going to give him mana. And I already know I've given her mana, so I'm going to give her coins. It's a guarantee. I'm going to offer. I'm going to win. I have success. Fabulous. I have some prizes. What am I going to get? I'm going to get these. So I'm going to say awesome and move on to my next one. So now we're moving it up just a little bit. We're going to have 4 items and 5 people to do this with. So we're going to hit, again, left to right. There we go. And then I'm going to go over to the left again, and I'm going to hit it. It really doesn't matter. It's just picking one way and doing it that way, okay? Because then you can follow your logic and follow the patterns and follow what's going on in the game, okay? Now I've managed to hit on 2 and discount 2 items. So I know the remaining 3 people are going to need these 2 items, okay? So I'm going to hit on, just start left to right, making sure that I'm not giving them the same thing that I gave them last time, and I'm going to hit offer. Alright, I made one more hit. I'm down 2 items, 2 people, wrong person, that means if I gave marble to this person and he says it's the wrong person, it's got to be somebody else. So that's the only other person. I'm going to hit it there. Again, gum to her, and she says wrong person. Only other person is him, so I'm going to give it to him. See what I accidentally did here? I need to pay attention to that. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to give him the gum. I'm going to give her the marble, and we should be good. Awesome. Another one down. Collect my rewards of teleport. Thank you. I love teleports. Now we have 5 for 5. We're going to go through, and I'm going to offer. And then moving left to right again. Going to offer. Fabulous. So now I'm down to nobody needs this. I know for a fact that I've got to use steel and coins. So I used velvet and steel here. Here's the velvet and the steel. So the only thing left to use with them is coins. And over here I've used steel and coins. So there's the steel, there's coins. So the only thing left is the velvet. And so what that leaves now is, guess what? Perfect. I managed to do it. No diamonds spent. Awesome. What am I going to get? Fabulous. Love it. Get to play with the boss now. Might be crushed. All right, now we're up to 6 items. So still the supplies are needed. It's the wrong person. There's only one person left, so I'm going to go ahead and give him the supplies. I know it's not money. I know it's not supplies, but now I have a 1 in 3 chance of being wrong. And look, these other guys have gotten those items. I'm going to guess that maybe it's the gems. I haven't tried them yet. Let me see what happens. That was not the gems. It is now costing me another 25 diamonds. Okay, I'm paying my 25 diamonds. Yes. And now, lordy, see, it gets difficult. I know it's not that, so it could be this, it could be that, and I don't know, so I'm just going to pick one. And I was correct. Awesome. What am I going to get for a prize? Lots of good goodies. Yay, I love the armory. Now I get to battle more on the tournament. I spent a total of 50 diamonds in this first round, and guess what I'm going to get back? 50 diamonds. It cost me nothing in diamonds to play this first level, and I'm going to get a lot of nifty supplies. So that is where it's at, and let me know if you have any questions or if there's some other element of the game I need to show you. Thank you for listening. Bye.